What is going on, everybody? Been a diehard Pistons fan since 2003 and starting to get very optimistic about this Pistons team. The Detroit Pistons secured a win today despite not having Cade or Tim Hardaway in the lineup, getting a win over the New Orleans Pelicans by a score of 136 to 130. In this video, we are going to go through and discuss three key performances from tonight. And towards the back half of the video, we are going to talk about what I was able to see in person since I was actually able to attend this game. So the first player that we do need to talk about should be clear and obvious if you watch the game today, and that is Ron Holland II. He finished the night with 26 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists to go along with a steal and 0 turnovers. He was 10 of 14 from the field, 1 of 3 from the three-point line, and played 36 minutes. I'm pretty sure that 26 points is the career high for Ron Holland. He is a rookie, of course, so I don't think that he has had a mark higher than that. And it was very well needed tonight. He stepped up in a big way in the absence of Cade and Tim Hardaway. Of course, Ivey has been out and will continue to be out. So missing that many players in the backcourt opened up a possibility for Ron Holland to go out there and play one heck of a game. I think that Ron Holland showed just exactly everything else that he has showed throughout this year, but at a higher level tonight. I've just made a video pretty recently on what I've seen from Ron Holland, and I have turned into a very big Ron Holland believer very quickly. He's still so young. He was the first player ever in NBA history to still be a teenager and put up that stat line tonight, 26 points, 5 boards, and 6 assists with no turnovers. I know that stat is a bit cherry-picked, but for him to be able to do that and the way that he has been contributing to a playoff team as a rookie is super impressive. And I feel like it's probably flying under the radar throughout the entirety of this year. And hopefully the game today will maybe help elevate him in some of those conversations when discussing him with other rookies. So moving on, the next player we do need to discuss is Marcus Sasser, who also stepped up in a huge way today, had 20 points in 26 minutes, 6 of 9 from the field, 3 of 4 from the three-point line, and just played an all-around really good game. He was a team-high plus 18 in the plus-minus, and you could really feel that because the game definitely shifted during the points of the game when he was on the floor. It's really awesome that Marcus Sasser has been able to take a back seat on this team ever since we've acquired Dennis Schröder at the trade deadline. It has not caused any issues whatsoever. He has quietly had his minutes reduced, but when called upon during times of need, when, Cade is out like today or anyone's missed time, steps right up, fills in that role, and plays really, really well. The biggest takeaway I had from the game today with Marcus Sasser, of course, the fact that he shot the ball incredibly well, is that he played a lot of the minutes today with Dennis Schröder on the court at the same time. That's pretty interesting because, of course, at the beginning of the year, after Ivey went down, Marcus Sasser was kind of shoehorned into that backup point guard spot, but myself and many others have felt like naturally he's probably more of an undersized 2, kind of a combo guard rather than a true point. So it seems like pairing him with Dennis Schröder is not the worst idea in the world. I know that doesn't present a lot of size in the backcourt, but tonight, if the matchup's right, it looked really good to have Marcus Sasser kind of playing off the ball, being more of kind of a catch and shoot role or catch the ball on the wing and go to work, take a step back type of deal. I definitely prefer him in that role rather than him trying to be the pure point guard orchestrating the offense off the bench. So something interesting to think about going forward, and just really impressed with how well he's been able to step up when called upon. So lastly, we are going to talk about Jaylen Duren, who I thought had a great game tonight. 22 points, 12 boards, 8-11 from the floor. Did a great job on the glass and just really kind of dominated this game, as he should have. Going up against this Pelicans team that is without Zion, without Missy. They were starting a guy, to be honest, that I never even heard of, Carlo Matkovic. No disrespect whatsoever, but I guarantee he has played a low number of NBA minutes because I've never even heard of the guy. And of course, Kelly Olynyk was also out there. But both of those guys fouled out, and a lot of that was because they couldn't contain Jalen Duren. Jalen Duren is just a beast to see in person. Some of the dunks that he has just shakes the whole arena, and felt like he really set the tone tonight right from tip, that he was the best big on the floor, and you could definitely feel that. So overall had a great time at the game. That was my third game I think I've been to this season. And every game I've been to, the LCA has just had a little bit more energy than the last. Maybe the last game I went to against the Bulls kind of felt comparable to today, but what I do know is over the last couple months, since the Pistons have turned things around, there has been a new energy inside of that arena that it has not seen since the Pistons moved from Auburn Hills to downtown. These games are starting to feel a bit more like the old Palace days, and maybe I'm a little bit blinded by nostalgia, but they haven't really got to that point yet of energy in the building. But we're definitely pushing in the right direction in that department, and you can just sense it. There's way more people in the stands, way more people wearing Pistons apparel proudly at the games, way more people into the game. It seems like most people there are not there because they want something to do now, but rather to cheer on this team. So overall, feels really, really good in that regard, and I'm hoping to get over to a few more games before the season ends. And overall, I know that you could probably think about this game and how they kind of sputtered a little bit in the third quarter and find some stuff to nitpick, but I definitely am not taking away anything negative from this because at the end of the day, the Pistons are without their entire technical starting backcourt. No Cade today. Ivey, of course, has been out and will still be out. No Hardaway. That's our starting 1, 2, and 3 on opening night. Our starting 1, 2, and 3 that JB would prefer to start if he could, assuming. And to do what they did today without any of those guys speaks volumes about not only the players on the team, but the team itself. For guys like Marcus Sasser to kind of lose some opportunity at the trade deadline and Ron Holland to only be 19 years old, it really shows a lot that in games like this, when we actually need them to produce, they're able to. JB trusts in them to be able to go out there and get the job done, and they were able to do it. And I know it's probably pretty easy to look on the other side of the stat sheet, the other side of the lineup, and see that the Pelicans are without Trey Murphy, they're without Herb Jones, they're of course without Zion. But at the end of the day, those guys are still professionals. CJ McCollum got 40, took 28 shots. That still was not enough for them to be able to get the win here. And those guys are all pros, man. Jordan Hawkins looked pretty good out there. It's not like we're playing up against a team of G Leaguers or even worse, like Division III players. I know that with a couple of these losses to the Mavs and the Wizards over the past couple weeks, a few fans have been like, oh, these losses are this and that. At the end of the day, man, this is the NBA, and anybody who puts on an NBA jersey can hoop, and they will bust your ass if you don't come ready to play. So credit to the Pistons. I don't care who is on the other side on that other team. What I know is that I came away very impressed with a lot of the young guys tonight, and they were able to get the win, and that's all I can ask for. Let me know what you guys think, and we'll catch up soon.